always say with like the rest of the team, I'm like, fuck a W-2. And I say, they're like, you need to put that on like a shirt or something. I'm like, no, fuck a W-2. I will never go back. I just can't.
Welcome back to All Over the Place. Today's guest is the founder of Studio Casually, a collection of rentable photo studios and event spaces across San Diego. Welcome, Kate.
Wow. Thank you.
And you just opened up your third studio, which is the one that we are currently sitting in. And I am blown away. I mean, coolest place I've recorded a podcast thus far. So
Same.
So thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
You came and set up in my house, basically.
I know.
Feels like it.
I want to move into this one.
No, I know.
I'm like, you could tuck me away up on that.
I've had the
loft.
debate before. Like, I feel like everyone comes in, they're like, could you live here? Because there's a shower and stuff in here. So, like, you probably could. I think some of them are zoned as, like, work-live. But I don't know if this one is. I know, like, I can't because it's not in, like, the lease that I have. But, you know, we make it work.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Something to keep in mind, although it's downtown. You live downtown, right?
I do. Downtown gets a lot of shit. Everybody hates on downtown. And listen, I don't even like living down here. I just like, I love my apartment. I have a really cool apartment.
It's stunning. You have the exposed.
Yeah, it's kind of like this.
Concrete, right?
Yeah, I have brick. And it's cool. I really like it.
I get very Manhattan vibes, but I moved out here to kind of get away from New York. So I'm like, downtown. Yeah. I love coming to your studios, though.
Yeah.
So in your own words, can you tell us a little bit about what Studio Casually is?
We're photo studio first. Like, I'm a photographer first. So when I opened it originally, it was like, oh, I want a space that I can shoot out of. I was mostly working out of my apartment, so I moved into my loft to do like I moved into my loft to mostly like focus on like creative work. And I was like, oh, I'll give myself a year. I moved during COVID, so I got like a COVID deal in my apartment, and so I was like, I'll stay here a year, I'll live my like new girl fantasy, you know, whatever, and then if I hate it, I'll move out, because I'm not a downtown girly. I just really like my apartment. But so I ended up loving my space, and so I stayed there. And now I'm like, I just signed my lease again for like my third year. I was doing photo stuff there. I was like freelancing kind of in the beginning of that. And then when I first got the first studio, which is in the same building, just on the 5th floor, I was mainly looking to like use it for myself, for my clients. And I was like, well, obviously, like, I don't want to pay the bill, so like, let's rent it out to other people. So kind of like it turned into its own business. But originally it was just kind of supposed to be like an outlet from what I was doing with my photography work, and then kind of turned into its own thing.
So that's what I was so curious about. So was the spark really was to kind of, you know, further your own work, and then Studio Casually rolled into it?
Yeah, I was definitely like, I was working out of my place, and I hired an assistant, Brooke. And so I hired her, and she was like, I love her. She started working for me, and so we were kind of like working out of my apartment. And then I was like, okay, now I gotta like clean my house when I needed to do a shoot, and like models were coming over, and like Brooke was coming over, and I was like, I'm so sorry, my laundry's everywhere, my dog is there, and then like my boyfriend's around sometimes. So he didn't live with me officially then. And so we're like, okay, this is kind of like harder to navigate with somebody else there.
Absolutely.
And it was just getting to a point where I was like, I just need like a separate space from like work and living, because I was just at my house. I never left my house. Especially
because that was kind of the norm during COVID, but then post-COVID, it's like, no, I want an office type.
Yeah.
Just the separation between church and state, because it's like, I feel that where you're like, you even said, you're like, oh, I can meet you for the podcast. I was like, no, because I recorded my kitchen table, and like, you have these beautiful studios. I was like, I'm coming to you.
Yeah, it's nice to have like a separation for sure, because I think in the beginning it was just like so much in my house all the time. And then I was doing I do mostly like brand and like product photography. So I have just so much shit in my house. Like, I have a whole closet that was just like a shit ton of shampoos, like the whole line from like 3 different shampoo companies. Why did I say that? Shampoo company?
It's okay. We forget how to speak English on this podcast.
We're not even drinking wine either.
I purposefully didn't bring wine because I just get a little, like, if you listen to last week's episode, I was feeling great, but my words were getting lost on me. But I do the same thing, except my apartment, I feel like, is so small that it's in my car now as well. And my friends were getting out of the car, and my friend's like, oh, I need dish soap. Can I take this? And he's like picking it up. I'm like, no, I need to shoot that. That's like, that's my work. So I see the need. Yeah.
For a while. Yeah. So I was starting to look at spaces, and then I really like, anytime I'm doing anything, I'm like, well, okay, well, how can I make the most out of the situation? And so originally when I moved into my apartment, I wanted to peer space it out while I was there, living there. And then I was like, I got a dog. Like this, I'm doing too many things at once. So I never did it there. But kind of like did my research when I was looking into opening the first studio here, and like what was available, what wasn't, what was I needing, what were my clients kind of needing and wanting in a space. And so I did that for a bit, a lot of like research, looked at a ton of spaces. And then when I found the space, I was like, okay, cool, we can make this work. And then it really was like, okay, I want to open it up so other people can use it, because I just didn't love the options in San Diego. I feel like, and a lot of people that I talked to were like, oh yeah, I always go shoot in LA, like there's no options down here. Because it is pretty limited. Like there's not a ton of options down here.
I didn't know of any.
No, there's a couple, but I think it's like depends on the style you're going for. So like the style that I wanted, I was like, there's just no good options in my eyes, at least.
Cannot beat this natural light. Like I haven't been to your second studio, but the first and the third, the natural light. I mean, I walked in and I was like speechless, because I was like, this is just, it just makes you happy. Yeah. It makes everything better. Everything better.
I know I could never live in like a darker space. That's like my one non-negotiable. Like, whenever I move again, I'm like, I can't do it.
Like floor to ceiling windows are best.
I'll be depressed.
Truly. Yeah. It makes you, it has such a profound effect on my mood. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Half the reason I moved to San Diego, to be honest.
Same.
So you've been living in San Diego for how long?
4 years almost.
Okay, and where are you from originally?
Portland, Oregon, pretty much like the outskirts. I was technically in Vancouver, Washington.
Okay.
But then I lived in Portland for like 5 years.
Did you like I don't remember. Portland?
I did a lot. It was really nice. The weather was hard for me. And I think like it is a small city, kind of like San Diego feels small too. Like you could run into people. If you go to the same places, you see the same people.
Oh, absolutely.
Scary.
I've only been here for, I guess like it's almost a year unofficially, but like
really
I'm seeing a bunch of people.
Yeah. Especially if you're dating. That see me when I was dating in Portland. Listen, I was like, I can't be running into someone I went on date with every single time I go anywhere.
I said I wasn't going to talk about this in this episode, but like always seems to come out. It's a dating podcast now.
That's fine.
No, but that's true. San Diego does have like kind of a small city feel, truly.
Yeah. So Portland's similar. I think I always am like, I want to be by a major airport. And San Diego just had like good weather. I think I was like pretty sold on originally when I wanted to move. I was like, okay, San Diego or LA. And my main reason for wanting to move was like one, weather. And I just like lived in Portland forever. I was like, it's time to spread my wings and go somewhere else.
At least you're on the same coast, so you can see your family.
Yeah, like not a big deal. And I was just like, yeah, I'm ready to move somewhere. And I was looking for work, and nowhere in Portland was paying like good money. And I was like, well, shit, I'll just go somewhere where the like cost of living is higher, so I have to get paid more.
Have you had business casually since Portland, or was that new for you?
No, I feel like I've worked in so many different industries, all kind of like leading up. Now I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is absolutely where I'm meant to be. Like all the things make so much sense. But I was working in marketing for a long time. The goal for a long time was like, I want to work in marketing or like social media and stuff. So I was doing that. When I moved here, I got a job working in, I technically was doing like content marketing or something for like a agency. And I quit like 8 or 9 months in during the pandemic. So it was just like terrible, and I hated everybody there. Yeah, it was terrible. So and then I started freelancing. So while I was working there, I just moved here. My boyfriend was overseas because he plays basketball. So he was over doing that. And I was like, well, I have no friends. I have nothing to do. So might as well like
throw myself
make some more money. Yeah. So I got a freelance job. And so I was doing that. And then that turned into a full-time opportunity. She like offered it to me. And I was like, cool, I'm making so much more money than this stupid job at my agency, the agency I was at. And so left and started doing that. Was still doing like marketing, and like I think technically I was like her creative director. I don't really think that's what I was doing. That was just like the title that was given to me.
Titles are pretty loose nowadays anyways. Like you'll have a title, but you'll be doing 3 other job descriptions.
Yeah. It was very much, I think when I went full time, she was like, oh, you're head of marketing or like director of marketing or something. I was like, okay, I'm 22.
Yeah, but okay. Like, thank you.
23.
I'm the senior director.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, we'll put that on my LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Great. And so I was doing that, and then I ended up taking on more clients because I was like, having one client is like scary, especially when you're not locked. Like she could just let me go at any time, which is what ended up happening. It was kind of a mutual, we decided this
like
wasn't
you guys
working
outgrow
anymore.
each other. It happens.
Yeah. And so I had kind of gotten some other work, and I had moved into my place, and I had started doing some like photo stuff, and then I ended up getting like this gigantic job, which I just still think is like crazy because it was my first job doing like photo work. It was like $25K. Like,
love
so much. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know this was possible unless you shot like weddings or something. I was like, oh, you can't make money really doing photography. And in my head I was like, oh, people who do like brand photography or product photography, that's like the elite people. Like no real people do that. Same as like, to me, it's like, I was like, oh, that's like people that work on movies. Like that's not a attainable job. Such a like realist. I was like, I can't do that. And it started out like at 15K and then grew to like 25K over the course of like a couple months I worked with them. I was like, holy fuck, this is what I want to do. Like, one, this is just like way better money. And I was like, I feel so much more energized. Like, I don't really want to be doing like marketing anymore. And this is when like social media went to shit, and like TikTok came out, and everyone's like, everybody needs to be on TikTok and everybody needs to be doing this, and then reels are happening, and all this stuff was like conflicting. I was like, I just don't want to keep up with this anymore for my clients. Like, I'm just kind of over it. And I had a couple, like I was doing a lot of social media, like freelance, but that was like May 2020 is like when I went full-time freelance. And then like later in that year is when I started doing like photo work too, and kind of did 50-50 up until the studio. I had a couple like social media clients that I just like, it was like easier money for me. And I was like, shit, it's consistent. Like, I'm not just trying to like throw it out of the window. But so I was kind of waiting. Like, I was waiting for it to all like go, and it finally like all worked itself out, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm free. I can be done.
It's really one thing that you said, I didn't even think it was attainable, and you made so much more money. I find with freelance, like people are like, I don't get it. I'm like, think of it this way: when you're freelancing, there is no cap. You don't have a salary. It's all based on the effort you put in. Is the salary you any goal you have, you can reach if you want to put those hours in, if you want to get those bigger clients, if you want to. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things. And I was going to ask you, were there any limiting beliefs you had prior to jumping ship and going freelance or starting your own business that you kind of had to overcome before fully taking that leap?
Honestly, I feel like I just got a lot of shitty advice from people, and I just don't think you should take advice from anybody half the time.
Specifically anybody that's not in a position you want to be in.
Exactly. And I think like, I didn't go to college. I didn't do any of that shit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just raw dogging life out here.
Okay. I love this even more. Yeah. That's like true entrepreneurship.
You can still be an entrepreneur and go to college.
But like college is a 4-year like... unless you're being like a surgeon or something, it's like a 4-year fucking floundering, I don't know. Party.
Yeah, I feel that.
Not that I partied, mom and dad. I did not.
No.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I like in high school where I was at, you could be dual enrolled. You're like junior, senior year, so you could just basically go take classes at the community college, and like basically come out of high school with an AA. So I did do that, but I just like, it really doesn't feel like it counted because it was like I was like 16 and 17. I graduated high school when I was 17. So I was like,
smart. So you're like, challenging yourself.
Yeah, I don't feel like any of those things did anything for me. And then I didn't go like get a 4-year after that. I just like had that, and I was like, okay, cool. I graduated high school, and I guess I have this other like piece of paper that doesn't mean anything.
You're like, cool paper.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do anything with this. So yeah, I never went to school, so all like self-taught everything. When I didn't go to school, I got a lot of pushback from not really my parents. My parents are like, you're smart, like whatever. If you don't want to go to school, we don't want to pay for you to go to school
and
either.
You can always
like,
go back to school. Like school will always be there. And
I think they thought that I would eventually, and then I just never did. So they didn't really care as much. I think it was more so like other people, like other adults in my life, or like people I had worked with as well. Like
really?
I think I had always been like the younger, like when I graduated, I was 17 because I'm like a November baby. So I was 17 when I graduated high school. So I was already like younger than my class. And so entering the workforce, I was younger too. Like I got a job, like I'm such a fucking loser. On my 16th birthday, I was like, I'm making a resume.
That's not being a loser. I
made a resume on my sweet 16.
I think that's like actually so admirable.
So
and that's
lame.
Yeah, but that's something that should be. And I was just listening to a podcast on this because it's like, to get where people want to be at a certain point, you do need to sacrifice little things along the way. And people at that age will be like, oh, like loser this, loser that. But like now you have your own company.
Yeah.
And like now I bet you people are probably reaching out like, how did you do this? How did you start this? Like, and you're like, no, it's because I've been putting in the work since I was 16. I started my resume. Like,
yeah, a little silly.
I mean, I am proud of you.
Yeah. My first jobs were so funny. I feel like I've done so many. I like look back, I'm like, oh yeah, I switched jobs like every like 8 or 9 months. Just because I was like, we got to get the next thing. I think I'm very much like, I'm not going to stay somewhere if it's not a good fit. Like even when I moved here and like that agency, I like wasn't even here a year. And I'm just like, if it's not a good fit, I'm not going to keep doing it. And I'm like, if I can't move forward to do the next thing, because I'm always kind of like a billion steps ahead of what I want to be doing. Yeah. So when I was like, wow, I'm not going to get a promotion here. The CEO doesn't like me anyway. Yeah. So it was just like
I see it as a dead end. Might as well treat it like one.
Yeah. And I was like, I was doing way more work than I was like hired on to do anyway. So I was like, this is just goofy. I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
It's like abuse at that point. But
yeah.
Sorry, I derailed the question, of course. Were there any limiting beliefs before you started?
I think for me, like I very much on the opposite side with like college. I'm very much at this point, I'm almost like a cheerleader for anybody who doesn't want to go to college. I'm like, don't do it unless you like want to be a doctor or some shit. Like I just don't think it's necessary. And I think like I got ahead because I got to do some like more work experience. So I was a bit ahead of like my peers coming out of it, who like didn't even aren't doing jobs in their field anyway. But I think like I'm very much like, I don't ask for a lot of advice because I just simply don't want to hear it unless they're like a trusted source. And I think like in work, in business, in relationships, like I think even in relationships, like so many people ask people for advice, and I was like, that person doesn't have good advice. No shade to that person, but like there's a time and a place. Like if my friends want to ask me advice on like being single and navigating right now, I'm like, I've been in a relationship for 4 years. Like I can't tell you what the dating scene is like right now. I know my place. Like that's fine. If you want to ask about your long-term partner and what is and isn't okay to argue about, I got you. Like that's fine.
And it's also everyone's coming from their own lens or their own perspective. So it's like you can ask someone advice, but it's never going to be a cookie cutter. You just pick it up and place it in your life or to your like situation or scenario. Yeah. And people have bias too. Like absolutely. I think also like people just realistically we're all like selfish and jealous a little bit. And when we see someone winning in life, we like it's so many of us, there's that little part you're like, fuck, I'm not winning. Like that's like, I don't want to see them succeed. So people give you shitty advice because they're mad that you are doing okay and whatever the fuck you're doing. It's like it's a two-sided like coin. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. That's that one. Two-sided coin. I could speak in proverbs like the whole podcast. Yeah. But I do think that's one of the things that changed my life completely when I, you know, grew apart from some friends from home and things, and my mom and my like people I really look up to, mentors, and like people that are in places that I would like to be in. And actually, now that I think of it, they're all entrepreneurs. They're like, why would you take advice or take someone's opinion to heart that is not where you want to be or like exuding the things you'd like to exude or be or do? And I'm like, oh, that's true. Yeah. And I think like that's so important. And then also I was like just talking to my team, like one of my teammates about this. I was like, oh, I think like it's really important also to like not with people like you're inspired by, like on the opposite side, being like, oh, I'm so inspired by this person, like they're doing exactly what I want. Like I am almost like, yeah, you shouldn't follow your mentors on Instagram. Like you shouldn't follow your role models. You shouldn't keep up to date with what they're doing, because I think naturally on the flip side, I'm like, you just want to be them. You like copy them, and then you're no longer your own person. Yeah. And it's not, you lose the originality, you lose any authenticity, and then you just become like copy. Less of and it's not even on purpose, but like you will just start to like emulate that person and be like, oh, they're doing that, so I should be doing that. It's like you probably have there are good ideas up in your little brain. You don't have to, the reason that they're good is that they're yours. And like they're different, and that's why people succeed, is because there's that ingredient that is like only you can come up with, and you're not just copy and pasting it from someone else. Yeah. I have a lot of thoughts on that. I do too. I was like, ugh, I could do a whole episode literally on just like that, because I'm so passionate about it. You have to be able to differentiate yourself, and I think
if you follow and like keep tabs with too many people who are doing exactly what you do. Like I really don't follow any other photographers, like unless I have a personal relationship with them, because I'm like, I naturally am going to see what you're doing, and I'm probably gonna like emulate or like mirror what you're doing,
subconsciously just have it there,
like judge yourself too. You also get into like a comparison. It's like, oh, why are they so booked and I'm not as booked, or why do they have this going on? And I'm sure people feel the same way about me, like, and that's okay. And I also like, I think if that's how you feel about somebody, you just shouldn't follow them. It's not good for you.
Which is actually interesting that you say it like that, because I had someone that I was close with from home unfollow me, and I was like, what? And then I kind of realized, I was like, you know, it has nothing to do with me. It's clearly something was bothering you, so like, hey, like best of luck, like whatever. But for me, it's also, I think that it's good that she did that, because one, I think you should have blinders on from time to time when you're really going after what you want. And my latest thing for myself was create more than you consume, because I do believe the more you consume, you kind of have that comparison, like my content maybe should look like this because that's performing well, or that's, and that just takes away everything that is the epitome of what I hope to share, which is like pieces of me and pieces of my life and viewpoints that, you're right, like you start to kind of just emulate it without even knowing.
Yeah, it's wild. Like it's so unintentional and like subconscious that you catch yourself. Like I even caught myself and I was like, this is not cute. We're not doing that anymore. So we don't do that anymore. Not in this house.
Well, I think that that is another amazing piece of advice that hopefully people can take from you, is everything that you've been saying is like, you have tried things, and when they don't work, you have no issue letting them go, which I think is a lot of people's, you know, the sunken time fallacy is like, oh, well, I put time and effort into this job, I should just stick with it.
No,
it's
I
like,
think
no,
that's
if you're not happy.
Concept, like that's more like parents' energy as well. Like it's an older generation's way of thinking too. If it's not working, there you have to be able to know when it is and isn't the right time to like quit doing something. And I think we grew up, like our age was like, oh, you can't quit. Like I remember like I played piano for 9 years, and my, like I could not play piano now anymore. I cannot remember. But I know like my parents did not want me to quit. They're like, no, we've put all this time into your piano lessons and da-da-da-da. And like, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it was amazing. I'm so glad I got to do that as a kid. But it's like me not wanting to do it anymore. Like, it's not that deep, you know? And I think you have to know when to like steer course. And too often I think we stick with something because there's like that shame tied to it. It's like, oh, like if I opened this space and in a year, if it's not fucking working, I will close it. And and I'm like, yeah, will that be embarrassing? Maybe. Who the fuck cares? Like I've done way more embarrassing shit.
And I film it and put it online. So
same. So yeah, like I think that's but that's like the nature of like trying. If I didn't try, then like I wouldn't be able to do the things. I think there's like too much that you can lose, and like the risk, you have to be willing to like go try it and be okay with being like, all right, I'm gonna give myself X amount of time, and like hold yourself accountable to that. And if it's not working and you need to pivot at what you're doing, then just do that.
My mom always says you need to make the best decision with the information you have at hand, and then when something changes, you make another decision, and then you make another, and then you make another, and it's like it is that easy. And it's so beautiful hearing you say it, because these are things I try to tell myself, but for some reason it always hits a little differently when you hear it from someone else's perspective or someone else's mouth. I really maybe that's like some limiting belief I have in my mind right now, because I think that like I have faith in everything I'm doing, and I'm like, but I think it comes down to maybe I'm like consuming too much, or I'm like, I'm not there yet. But it's one of those things that it's like, yeah, but you wanted to be where you are right now in the past. So don't get caught up in that cycle of thought. Just like keep moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a couple years ago, you're like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I wanted to do. Like, why am I complaining? Yeah. That's stupid.
No, it's literally, it's so, like you said earlier, it's goofy.
It is like goofy.
It's goofy.
Yeah, just not necessary, I think. Like, and it really is just like shame at the end of it, either like shame with yourself, or like that other people, you're like concerned that other people are like gonna judge you, or be like, haha, hee hee haha, she
like, look,
she didn't do that thing. Like, okay,
it's actually another thing that I just saw like really have been honing in on recently. Anyone that makes fun of you for something that maybe didn't work out, chances are they've never actually tried or done that. Like, no one makes fun of somebody else for going after something full force, even if it flops. No one does unless you are jealous and wish you had done something like that. Or
they're
like
a fan.
Yeah. It's wild when you finally get that perspective. It's like, because I think about myself and like our peers of people are doing the things here and just like going full force, and we all support each other. I'm like, not one of us would make fun of another one for doing the things that we all are like have the desire to do and have the guts to go after.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I don't know if it's just my age and finally I'm getting that wisdom, but it's really cool when it sinks in.
Yeah. I think it's hard too. Like, we also, like, social media is so much more involved, I think, than it was when we were younger. And so I think now it feels more, not that it feels new, but I think there's more pressures on it, and we're like an older age, so trying to feel like you can keep up with everybody. I think it's always like you're keeping up with everything, you can't do it all, and like
we just know a little too much about everyone.
Yeah.
But listen to this whole podcast. No, so like I don't want to be a hypocrite, but like it's one of those things where we kind of know too much, and it's a double-edged sword again, where it's beautiful and you get all of this information that you never would have had otherwise. Access to long-form conversations, and like maybe no one would have ever known the full Studio Casually story unless you put that out there, which I hope you start your podcast.
I will say in the fall. It's coming.
Hell yes. Yeah. It's so positive, but those little nuances of the negative aspects are also there, and it's always going to be there.
Yeah, there's always going to be somebody like shitting on what you're doing, and I think to me, I'm like, okay, well, at least you're talking about me.
That's what I see it as.
You know,
I straight up will be like, hey,
they're a fan.
No publicity is bad publicity.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I mean, maybe there is, but like,
but if they're talking like you're doing something right, I think, to me, and I very much like abide by the rule that like if someone's content doesn't make me happy and doesn't make me, or really the words that I use is, if someone's like content doesn't make me feel good, I will not, like, I can't have that person on social media. And I think like, and I'm sure there's people, I know there's people, because some people unfollowed me recently. If my content doesn't make you feel good, that's okay. You don't have to be there, you know? And I think like, and that comes kind of back to what we're saying too, like with the jealousy side of things. I think people have a hard time seeing other people win. And I think it's so like such a bummer in my eyes, because I think we're all doing different things, and I'm like, I could be winning in my area of life and you could be winning in yours, and I'm like, I would love to see you winning in your area of life, because what you like, you being successful doesn't take anything from me. And I think, and like with all of our friends, with anybody, even with people we don't know, like someone else succeeding isn't like taking from your cup. And I think that's how we get in that thought, is like, oh my gosh, well, if she's doing that, then I can't, like, I won't get that opportunity. And it's like, there's enough to go around.
I see. I'm smiling because I am going to be using this like, I've been saying this ad nauseum, and I said it this episode last Monday. There's enough cake for everyone, and there's enough seats at the table for everyone to be there. And for people to not support other people, because it all comes back to the individuality. Like, you're all, even if we all have a podcast, like, do artists stop making music because there are so many other artists? Do new bands just say like, I can't, you know, like Guns N' Roses was a thing, I simply can't make music? Just infuriates me. Or people are like, really, we need another podcast? And it's like, yeah, because there are going to be people out there that resonate with what I'm saying. And it could be 10, it could be 10,000, it could be 1 million, like, but there are going to be people out there that it's going to do something for them, and like, that's my purpose. It's not like, oh well, someone's already done a podcast in San Diego, so I can't. Like, that's crazy talk.
It's wild. It's like, oh, only one restaurant can exist. Like, it's just stupid.
Plus, I love supporting other people. I was just talking to V Golden West Club about this. I was like, it takes nothing. The share button, the comment button, the like button, it's all free. It's like the easiest thing you can do if you just want to, you know, help someone else. But you don't have time or money or like whatever. It's so helpful. And it's wild to me because so many people will like withhold that. But like we said, there is that fine line of like, sure, unfollow someone if you don't feel good with it, but
or mute people, you know. You don't have to like delete what's it called, delete,
like fully
get rid of,
dispose of them.
Dispose, that's the word. I knew what you meant. You don't have to like get rid of somebody, because like I've go through seasons where I'm like, yeah, I can tell like this isn't making me feel good, and I just need to like hit the mute button for a second, and I need to check myself because I'm acting fucking weird. And like that's what it is. That's what the mute button's there for. Like
the story I was telling you prior to us recording, it was about like these guys who had this opinion on like dating or whatever, and I was like, why am I getting so upset about this? I was like, I guess it's just because like that we disagree and they were trying to change my mind, and I was like, we can disagree and just like coexist. We're not all gonna think the same thing. Like it's that's why we're not compatible. And it goes into friendships, it goes into like business, everything. It's like just gotta find kind of who you're compatible with and really like ride for those people.
And I think like with business too, like it's so easy to like share a friend's stuff. And I think one of the biggest, like when I first started anything business, was like I realized that like your closest friends are probably not your customers, and they're probably not who you need to market to, 100%. And it's gonna hurt your feelings. It fucking like stings a little bit. And I remember like I started a like clothing company way back. This is like deeper in my history of my life, and I did that for a while, and like it was like my friends and family were just like, nope. My biggest fans were people I didn't know, and I think that was like a tough pill to swallow. And I kind of had to realize, I was like, hey, these people are my customer. That's okay.
It's like, not the demographic. It's not you or what you're doing. It's just simply that's not your demographic.
And they can like support me in other ways. And even like here, I'm like, I'm not friends with a bunch of photographers, like intentionally, because I'm like, I think I like to have friends that work in like different industries. And I think like for me, I just don't fall into, I don't do a lot of like photo meetups. That's just like not my cup of tea personally.
Like we said, blinders, I really do think it helps from time to time.
There's
time to be inspired, and there's time to just like put your head down and do what you have like your eyes set on.
And I love to collaborate when it makes sense, but I think like I just don't have a ton of photographer friends. I probably did more in Portland, but not here. And so I was like, do I know a ton of people that are come book the studio? No, not a clue. I've had a very handful of like people that I know personally come in, some, but I think it's been like I've built this like community of all these other people, and now I'm like, oh, I feel like I have all these little friends that had just like come to the studio all the time that I never met before,
and that you wouldn't have met otherwise.
And like those are the people that like build your community. I think we rely too heavily on our like friends and family to be like, no, you need to support my thing, and they can support your thing, but they don't have to buy your thing. They don't have to come buy your course, buy your product, go to your class, listen to your podcast. Like they can do the free things, and they can do the sharing. And like when they have, oh my gosh, you would love my friend Layne's podcast, like, or like
moments in time.
And I think like we get too in our heads about like, oh my gosh, my family doesn't support me, and it's like, I'm sure, I mean, maybe sometimes it's like that, but like
I have to tell you,
probably
like,
do.
This is so spot on for me, because it took me so long to realize. I was like, I don't understand my friend. I was like, because your friends know your life. They're not going to want to watch your vlogs. Like, it's going to be people that don't know you that are going to have that piqued interest to check it out or to listen to you talk for 3 hours, because they don't do that with you in real life. I was like, it did take me a second to kind of grasp that, because I was always like, I support all my friends, but not everyone has to do the things you do. Like that's another thing. Like you just can't expect yourself from other people. And once you let that go, oh my God, is that freeing?
No, so good.
Very freeing.
Crazy.
So what are your big lofty goals for Studio Casually? Do you have any that you can, you don't have to share them, but you can if you want. Throw them out there.
Tell you my business plan.
You're like, this is, you can go steal.
This is actually a pitch. I'm looking for some grants now.
Listen, I mean, you never know who's listening.
Well, okay, listen. My plan was never to have 3 in San Diego. It's not even been a year.
That's why crazy? When you showed me this one, I was like, bro, what? Because the first one launched when I was already moved.
November 1st was when it opened, and we did our like party.
And I remember seeing all the posts.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing all of that, and I was like, I've been here for it all, and it's multiplied.
Yeah.
It has multiplied. It's tripled.
I know. It's scary.
It's snowballing. I'm so happy for you.
Rents.
That's
including
awesome.
My apartment. It's
That's
crazy.
Huge.
Yeah. So the goal right now is to stop opening them. This is the last one. We're done. This is the last one for a little while.
Booked out for years because you're not opening anymore.
I know. I was like, this is the last one for a while, and I do feel like I'm gonna stick to that. But like, who knows? I did say that when I opened number 2, which was in May. I was like, I need to cool it. Like, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, a little stressy. Focus. And then this one just kind of like really, and number 2 fell into place too, which I'm a very big believer on timing. Like if I'm forcing it, it's not time, baby.
Everything is timing.
Yeah. If I'm forcing it, like it's not for me. It may be for me later. I tried to force moving to San Diego before I moved here. It was not for me. It was for later, and I ended up here, and it worked out great.
I do believe, I mean, I am religious, but I do think that there is like a divine timing, and that I just had something happen where I was like, you don't need to throw it out. You could just be like, maybe for later.
Yeah.
Like, just hold on to it for later.
Yeah.
Because I get pretty emotional. I'll be like, oh my God, so this is just never going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool it, Layne. Just give it some time. And like,
yeah, like that burning like fire in you about something isn't there for like no reason. So like if it's not working out, you don't have to be like, well, I hate taking pictures now.
Yeah, like it's done forever.
Damn. Like, no. I think it's just more like it's not the right time, and you can always like come back to those things later. But yeah, that was my move with San Diego. It was like a year before I was trying to move so bad. I was like trying to run from my problems, as we do. And yeah, it was not happening.
Love that we're self-aware about it though.
Yeah, I was like, yo, no, I literally was trying to do a road trip down here to like visit before, and my like car broke down. I literally never even made it.
Well, that's so interesting you say that. Now I'm repeating myself in every episode, but I might cut this up. I want to tell you, my roommate that I moved out here with, we drove out together. She shipped her car out. Her car blew up on the transport truck. I mean, torch, like everything she packed in it, everything.
No way.
So like I've had so many things kind of show up in my life to just prove that like if it's not the right timing, it will be like taken from you. Yeah. Or like something will happen that will absolutely halt whatever's not meant to be.
Yeah.
So
it gets messy. Just like
gets messy, and it's meant to get messy because then something else falls into place. And I just in my core, I know that to be true.
Yeah. No, I fully agree too. But yeah, so this one and then the one right before this really fell into place like insanely well. And so I was like, oh yeah, like I would be stupid. Both of them were like, I would be stupid to not take the opportunity, was kind of like how I was feeling about it. The original plan was just like have one, and I was like, we'll see how it does. And it's done so well that I'm like, okay, cool. I really like doing this. I love like the business side of things. Like I think to me, like obviously I love doing like photo shoots. It's very creative, but I love just like running shit as well. And so I think to me, I'm always like, okay, multiple like streams of revenue. I'm very much like thinking about the next like bazillion things. So yeah, when I opened the first one, I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll probably open like another one
like down the line, way down the line.
Yeah.
And I was a few months later.
My thought was, I was like, yeah, in a year, like we'll see how we're doing. I'll have like the data to look at to kind of know like what I want to do next. And then the goal was always like I would love to open them in multiple areas. So like I would love to have one in Portland. I'd love to have one in like Austin, Texas, like Phoenix, so cool. Seattle, not LA or New York. Those are like, or Miami. Those are like hard pass for me, but like other bigger cities that like still have that need. I think like we are a big city that just like, and there's a need. There's like such a big creative, like
the amount of people that have moved here from like post COVID. I was just talking to V because she's a local, and she's like, yeah, the fabric of the whole city has changed. Oh, yeah. So now you're right. Like there's just so many people working remote. And even if people want to rent out studio casually and like group work together, it's just, there's just endless options with what you've set up, which is another just beautiful thing about it. Yeah.
So originally it was like, oh, we'll use it for photo shoots was the original plan, and then I was like, oh shit, well we could use it for events, we could do this, like what if we did this? And so that it just kind of all like snowballed when I got the first one. And like my team now, we're 4, we had 5. She just moved to LA to like do cool shit, so now we're back to 4.
Are you hiring? Are we putting it out there or no?
You're in like, September. Okay. Don't DM me.
You're like,
don't DM me yet. I will probably not reply. In September, we will be hiring again for a weekend person. And then who knows? Everybody kind of does multiple things. I love hiring people who are like creatives in a different industry. Ellie's a model. The girl who just moved to LA was also a model. Her name was Lily. We have Jasmine, who like she does all the displays at Anthro, so she's like my set designer now. Ooh. And we have Brooke, who's just like vibes. We just love
phenomenal
Brooke.
Human being.
I know. Yeah. So Brooke was my first hire. I love her. She's been with me for like over a year now. It's just crazy, like a year and a half. But yeah, so everybody is just like good at so many different things. So we have like really good perspectives across the board. But anyway, I will be hiring another person, but not yet. Don't DM me. the original plan was just like to have the one, we'll use it. And I think to me, I was like, oh, I have worked from home, like once I started freelancing, I was just like working by myself and doing the work that I do. Like, I don't shoot portraits, I don't shoot weddings. So I'm like, I'm shooting pictures of shampoo and shit. So like, I'm by myself in my apartment.
I feel that.
So yeah, so it was nice to kind of like be able to, I was like, oh, I would love to be able to like network with other people and like meet other people. So I think it's more of like a community. It's really transitioned a lot into like a bigger community style space, and so that is kind of now where I'm like focusing in on, is like this space is more like it's used for photo shoots. All of them are used for photo shoots, of course, but this one is definitely more for like community. Like I consider this like our community center.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is my YMCA. Okay.
Each kind of has taken on its own personality. Like,
yeah, they definitely, like, all of them are very different vibes, which is the goal. I was like, well, if I'm going to open multiple, like, they need to feel different, or like, what's the point? Then I'm just competing with myself. That's stupid.
Yeah, you should have them be diverse.
Yeah, so they kind of like fill a different gap. So the first one is very much like photo shoot space. It's great for events. It's a super like flex space, so you can kind of use it for anything. It has like a private office attached, which is like super nice, so I can kind of like do my thing and I don't have to leave. And the second one I opened genuinely looks like a mini apartment, so that one is just kind of like for more like lifestyle shoots, portraits.
That one's downtown as well?
Yeah, it's like 2 blocks from my apartment. It's actually so nice.
Wow, so you can just
walk. It's like a 5-minute walk from like leaving my door, like down the elevator to get to the new one. Yeah, it's crazy. So that one is amazing. That one's more of like, it has a bed in there, so great for like boudoir style stuff. More like, definitely no events are going on there. It's really small, but it feels like a styled apartment. So that one's more just like for portraits and stuff.
Like specific scenery.
Yeah. And then this one is like, to me, when I got this, I was like, oh, this feels like we can do a lot more than we have been doing. And which is really the route I've been wanting to go to, is kind of like, I want to bring more people together and have more of like a community situation and just like be throwing events. We took events off for summer because I was just like, I'm super overwhelmed. And then I opened 2 studios in the meantime. I'm like, this is insane. I was supposed to relax.
I was going to ask you, because your Valentine's Day event was incredible and I met some amazing friends there. And then I know our friends hosted Art House, and it's one of those things where I was like, okay, so when's this opening? Like, when is your like opening party? But
yeah, this one will be a little while. We're gonna start doing events again in September, so we'll probably have like a yoga class in September, and we're gonna do like a monthly vintage market here to just like get more people in here. So we're gonna be doing events a lot more often starting September again, and then we'll have like a rager for our opening.
I already know where the DJ's going.
Yeah, we got a DJ booth up in the corner now.
I've been looking at it every so often. I'm like, this is gonna be just the cool. I'll throw in a little clip at the end of the video of like,
oh, smart.
Is that allowed?
Yeah.
Is that okay with you?
Yes, absolutely.
Sweet. Because it's beautiful.
You can't gatekeep. It's already open.
You're like, book it up.
Yeah.
Start come through. You told me that people would have their birthday parties. I'm like, that's so smart. Because you can do whatever you want with the space. You're not like at the mercy of a restaurant or like those things.
Yeah. So you can like BYOB situation of a bar. You can also get married here too.
You can hire my friend Claire to cook for you.
Yeah, you could do anything.
Options.
Well, and this one has a full kitchen too, so like we'll have there's no stove right now, but there will be a stove soon, so that way like you can not a ton. The first time like it took me out. Never doing that again. No, I totally will. Watch me buy like a fixer-upper house.
You're gonna literally be DIYing the whole thing, and I'm gonna come vlog it for you.
I know, it's literally terrible. But yeah, so this to me is my YMCA. It's very much like, this is like not our home base, because like we have different names for all of them. So like I'm just totally going on tangent now.
But all over the place, baby. All over the place.
So we like, Studio Casually comes from like Business Casually is like my business, where I do like my photography stuff under, and that's really just kind of like an umbrella for many things. I just did not want to be like, oh, Kate Gookin photography. Like, that's just not for me. And I'm like, well, someday I may like marry this man. I will marry this man.
I love my
for lifer.
But I love that. I love Jesus. I want to talk about that after too.
But yeah, so I'm like, I'll probably take his last name. I mean, it's the same initial, but I'm like, then I'm not doing that. I'm not doing my first and last name. My last name's weird.
That's so funny because, well, okay, you said your last name's weird, because I put Layne Fable on everything, because I know when I find my man, I'm taking his name. I'm so single. I don't fucking have a man.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I love my name so much that I want it to be my brand. I just love hearing people's perspectives on like
and see, I'm like, I feel like my last name like Gookin is like, okay, like
you're like, I could do without.
Yeah, it's not bad given like my boyfriend's is like equally as bad, so but it's fine. We'll deal.
Oh, I can bleep it out. What's his?
It's Guidi. You don't have to Guidi to bleep it out.
I don't have to Guidi it out.
Yeah, you don't have to Guidi it out. Yeah.
Okay, that's so good.
So, but it's both a G. Initials. It's both a G. So I'm like, it'll be the same. But yeah, I've never been into like the name thing, and I think to me, I'm like, I want to build a business that like if I was to dip out of it, like nobody would know. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to sell it. I don't think I'll ever want to do that.
You never know. But someone offers you like a couple million.
You're like, talk to me then.
You're like, have fun.
Maybe.
Like here's my IP. Yeah. It's capital to go on to your next endeavor.
I know. So
I mean, possibilities are endless. Truly.
Yeah, I would never just like discount anything. You just never know until you're fully in the situation. But I think. So it was always like business casually. My ideal situation was like, I kind of want to be, and eventually like my podcast will also be called Business Casually.
I love the name. I really do.
Which is really how it started was I was like, oh, I'm going to start a podcast and it's going to be called Business Casually. Because once I was like freelancing, I was like, there's no resources for anybody anywhere. And all this advice is shit.
Yes.
Like I just wasn't here for it. Yeah. And it's too like, oh, you got to do this. Like, I think to me, I just like, I don't know. I have so many.
It's like
talk
fluffed.
Forever.
Yeah. There's something missing. There's definitely a need for something like that.
Yeah. And you know, given this was like 2 years ago. So I think there's definitely more resources now than when I first was starting. I think the transition in COVID changed a lot. A lot of people went freelance. But I think at the time I was like, everybody freelancing is like fucking old. And like, I was young and I'm like, I just don't feel like this is the right way to do things. And I feel like I had a lot of success really quickly in my freelance career. And I was like, oh, I wish that I would have, like I had a better resource to kind of like learn those things. So that was like where Business Casually, the name kind of started. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll do that or whatever. And I was just getting like a lot of my friends were like, oh, how are you doing this? Like, how are you freelancing? Like nobody was doing it then.
No.
Really.
And everyone's like, how you can make a living off of it. I'm like, you can make, there's no cap on what you can make.
If you want to raise,
all based on what you bring in.
Yeah. Like if I want to raise, I'll get one tomorrow. Yeah. I will just raise my rates.
And it's so hard to explain that to someone who has limiting belief that like, well, if you're not at a corporation, then you don't have a salary. It's like, no, that's the point. I don't have a salary. If I want to stay up and work 3 extra hours, I can double what I made. Like, it's the most beautiful thing, and it's not for everyone. I will say it's fluid. It's not structured. You have to take onus of everything, and it's definitely dicey. Sometimes you're like, oh, if someone does want to let me go, or like, I had 3 clients in one, and when I moved, we were together, and then they were like, we just need someone here, like in the same state. And I was like, well, there goes 3. But it's one of those things that like, that's the gamble and that's the risk reward. And I think that's the most beautiful thing. You're like, there is no cap. There's no ceiling.
No, not at all. And I think like when I first started freelancing, I just didn't even know like how much you could charge realistically. I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I probably charged like 5 times what I did when I first started.
Oh yeah. And that comes with experience as well.
Yeah.
But
definitely justifiably so.
But a lot of times, like when I first started, I was underselling. And I remember I was like so excited for my first client. I told my mom, and she's an entrepreneur. She started her own agency, and she was like, are you joking? She was like, you're giving. I was like, well, I just really wanted them as a client. She's like, no, you want clients that are going to value you and pay. Yeah. And I was like, oh, so it's so I love that you're doing this, because I have tried to like pull together pieces of, and granted my mom's a different generation, but pieces of like her advice as a CEO, and I'm like, we need to figure out how to get that out there. But I do think I can't wait for September. I'm gonna be your #1 fan.
I'm excited. It's been on my mind for a really long time. I think I just haven't like
timing
had the time really where I could justify pulling the trigger. But Business Casually kind of started out of like a podcast thought at first, and then I was like, actually, like this is just what I should have all of my like photo work under. It gives me freedom to kind of like expand as I want. And I think once I hired Brooke, I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I waited so fucking long to hire somebody. I think that's like, everybody should hire an assistant. Like it's yesterday.
The delegation.
Yesterday, you should hire somebody. Like if you have any excess cash flow, you should hire somebody.
Just frees you up to come up with the bigger ideas.
Yeah. And it's like collaborative. I think it just like, it gives you so much more time. And I think to me, like, once I hired her, I was like, okay, somebody else, like the biggest thing I think when I hired people was like, oh, other people believe in what I'm doing. And I think to me, that's like your biggest fans are people you wouldn't expect. Yes. And so I think that to me was like, Brooke joined and she's like, oh my gosh, this is so fucking cool. And I was like,
you're like,
really?
You get that confidence boost of someone that you, so did you know her prior or was
No, she like, I had just announced it on like my Instagram. I was like, hey, I'm trying to hire somebody because I needed a second set of hands, like with photo shoots and stuff. Yes. I just was like, I just need another person to like help me to make this faster. And so that was like the main
I can't wait to have a production assistant. You saw me set this all up. I need someone to help come in, and while I'm chatting with you, like,
it's so nice. Yeah, it's nice to have just like another set of hands. And so when I hired her, it was just really to like help on photo shoot stuff. And now like she does other stuff completely. But I think it was, for me, that was a big change. And I remember like talking with her about it. And then my like whole idea with everything changed. Like business casual was like the name, and I was like, oh, I'm so attached to that. Like it just makes sense. And also like if you know me personally too, like I'm a very like laid back person. I definitely am like, I get shit done, and when it comes to work, I'm very like serious, but I also like there's room to play. And I think
like nothing's too deep.
No, it doesn't fucking matter. And I think like so often in corporate world, like I worked a corporate job, and given it was like a tech company, so it was a little more laid back, it's just such a different dynamic. And I think like we're expected to be so like put together, and if you're not like put together and you don't like say shit all the time, then like you're professional and da 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 da, and you need to be like button up.
It's such a farce.
Like no, it's so stupid. And I think to me that really like embodied like business casually, like very much embodies how I view business and how I go about it. And I'm not gonna work with clients who want me to like be prim and proper. Like it's just not gonna work for me. Like I don't want to work for them, they don't want to hire me. And like that works.
Well, that's like even when I started this podcast, my mom's like, you can't curse. I go, why not? I go, I literally curse all the time.
Yeah.
And it's a terrible habit. I would love to stop, but like if I let an F-bomb slip, that shouldn't be the reason that you don't want to work with me. You don't like that should have no bearing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really speak to my character. I just like to curse every so often because it gets some emotion out. Okay.
And you know, they would never say that if it was a man, but that's
You're
a whole other topic.
Like
for another
neither
day.
here nor there.
As Taylor Swift said, if I was the man.
The Taylor Swift era. Everyone I know is going to Taylor Swift. I've never seen her live, so like
I haven't either.
I'm missing out.
I know, I do too. I really like her old stuff. It like really brings me back to like being emotional in high school.
The little angst.
Yeah. Oh,
see, I was
so
a little
much
darker
angst.
than that.
Oh, that's okay.
You're like Taylor Swift. I'm like, oh yeah, like I had like Screamo going. I had the used.
See, I grew up really religious. My parents wouldn't let me listen to that, so I was like breaking the rules by listening to like Toxic by Britney Spears.
Oh, spicy.
It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so bad.
Like, look at me.
I know, but anyway.
Business casually. I like that.
That's where it started. And then with the studio, I was like, oh, it's under the business casually umbrella. So like studio casually made sense. So people were like, oh, how'd you come up with that name? And it's like, oh, business casually. Casually as a whole is my enterprise. But yeah, so that's kind of how it started. And
just
then
so branding is so much fun. I felt like, because I had a background, like when I was in corporate, I was in PR for a little, and then social media, and then really branding. And like that, the coming up with new ideas and the problem solving of like having a tone in this overarching everything. And I love everything you do with Studio Casually. It's very, like you said, it's an umbrella, and you did such, because I come at it with such a specific eye. The branding, like I know exactly when you post or when it's something with your studios that it's, I could just tell immediately, which I think is so hard. So many companies now do not know how to do that.
It is hard. And I think like even the studio, like Studio Casually has its own like vibe in comparison to like business casually. And I think like it's fun to have them be a little bit like different, but still
play around
like,
with each.
they're still like connected for sure. But yeah, it's like business casually kind of was like podcast thought, and then turned into being like I love being a freelancer. Like I never want to be a W-2. This is a joke that we have going with Brooke specifically. We're talking.
I'm so happy I found my people, because I was trying to explain this to people. I'm like, I don't want to work towards someone else's goal. I'm going to put my time and life into somebody else's goal.
Yeah, or like goals that like I think to me, like I'll collaborate with people where like things align. But I always say with like the rest of the team, I'm like, fuck a W-2. And I say, they're like, you need to put that on like a shirt or something. I'm like, no, fuck a W-2. I will never go back. I just can't and all of them are freelancers too. So like there's been the debate on like switching between like taxes and shit, but like S corp and all that. But like I kind of don't want them on payroll because like I'm very passionate on being a freelancer. So it almost seems like counterintuitive to like put my team on and have them as that. And I think like I want to be able to give the same flexibility that to like my team that I what you have find as value a freelancer. In, and so I was like, that just doesn't make sense. I feel so like fake.
Can I ask, was there a moment in time that you can pinpoint that you remember being like, I will never do corporate ever again?
When I got that, listen, this is my favorite story. When I got that $25,000 photo job, I was like already sold on freelancing before because I was like, I'm making so much more money and I saved so much money in taxes.
And you're enjoying
like,
it.
So much stuff is tax deductible, which is great. Talk to a CPA. This is not legal tax advice, but like there's so much that you can do.
Oh yeah.
And so I was like saving so much. I was paying like making twice what I was making my first year. And like what I was making my agency job or whatever. And I paid like a fourth of what I was in taxes because like so much was deductible, versus like it was taking out like so much of my paycheck before. And so I ended up like that for me was a really big one. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can do whatever I want. Like I can go, there's nobody like holding me accountable. And I think like that was still like when I first started freelancing, I was still like kind of working for one client. So I kind of was like low key felt like a person with a regular job still, but like a more flexible schedule. And then I got that like really big gig, and I remember like I made a whole deck for it, and I still like use these decks all the time. But I made a pitch deck and I won the client with it. But I ended up like sent me the email that I like had gotten the gig. And I had pitched them, their original budget was like 10K, and I pitched them like 2 options like within 10K, and then I pitched them one that was 15 because they're like, oh, give us like a sky's the limit option. So I pitched one that was 15, and then they took the 15 one, and I was like, what the fuck? I didn't think they were gonna do it. They're saying so their budget was 10K. And so I was like so ecstatic. I was like, I had never at that time, I was like, I've never seen money like this before. And I was like so ecstatic. I like ran and I belly flopped on my bed. I broke my fucking bed frame. I kid you not. Also, this is now the bed frame that is in Studio 2 right now.
I love this.
Because I moved my own bed frame there. Yeah. It's a really cool bed frame. It's from Urban Outfitters. But they did send me a replacement. It's all good. But
like, listen, you get a little excited, you jump on the bed.
So excited. I belly flopped on my bed and I broke the bed frame, and I was like, well shit, I can buy another one now. Like it's fine. They sent me a free replacement. It was amazing. But I was like so excited, and I was like, holy shit, I didn't know that this was like a possible option. Like I just genuinely didn't know that you could make money doing it like this. Because I was like, I'd shot a wedding before. I was like, I don't ever want to shoot a wedding again.
No, the stress with that is
and I just honestly, I'm just not a wedding girly. Like I won't be having a wedding. Just not for me. Me and my boyfriend were like, no, we're not doing that. It's embarrassing.
No, it really, oh God. There's so many things I love going to them, but like you don't need to want to have one. Yeah, like I got so many thoughts on that.
I know. Same. And it's funny because like this place will actually use as a wedding venue. Like we'll market
it as a wedding venue. I know you're like, you can get married here, but I won't be getting married here. Maybe I'll do like a reception or something. I think like we could do that, but not a proper. No. But we could have a whole episode on just that.
I know. I feel so strongly.
Dude, there's bridesmaids and the culture with everything. I'm like,
it's crazy.
Absolutely not.
No, I dropped out of a wedding like a year ago because it was like
I gotta go.
No, because it was her like bachelorette was a cruise, and then I was gonna have to fly. This was when the war was going on in Ukraine too, so like flights were crazy. Oh my gosh. And it was like gonna be like $1,500 for me and my boyfriend to go to her wedding, and I was like, I'm not doing this, girl.
No, and that's not even the wedding. That's like the crew, like
that. Yeah, I was like, this is gonna be easily like a 5K situation for me to like go to your wedding. I'm not doing that.
My mom is like, since when did bachelorette parties and everything become like weeks or weekends?
No, literally.
Granted, like I'm down to always travel with friends, but like there is something just.
Yeah, I'm like, I would love to go on a week trip. Like I'm going on a week trip with my friend. It's crazy. The whole like wedding industry is wild to me, but
you're like, come get married here though.
No, but it's funny, well, also things for weddings are just inflated, and we won't be doing that. I like feel very strongly about that. So like if you get married here, it's the same price as if you had your birthday here. Yeah. Because I think that's like so silly.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's a wedding.
It. Yeah.
Oh, it's triple.
Because weddings are expensive, so you can. But I'm just like, that just ethically doesn't sit right with me. So yeah, we won't be doing that. But I digress. I don't remember what we were talking about.
I mean, hey, that was, you know, I did my job if I got us so derailed that you don't even remember what we were talking about. So we were saying, fuck a W-2 and a t-shirt.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Bring it full circle.
I'm ready for that one.
Yeah.
I want that.
No, I'm not. Like, I think when I first started, was very independent. Like, I'm doing my own thing. I am, like, very focused on, like, I'm going to build my thing and I'm going to have, like, my stuff. And I quickly realized, I was like, okay, well, I can book all this work, but, like, I genuinely can't do it all by myself. And so it was getting to a point where I was like, I need to outsource stuff. And so that's where I like was able to kind of like bring people on to help out. And so now the way that I look at like Business Casually as a whole, which is like interconnected. Anybody who works with Studio Casually also works for Business Casually. We're all kind of like together. And really like when I hire people, I'm like, what do you like doing? What are you good at doing?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Like if I told you could do anything and you could work 40 hours with me, what would you want to be doing?
Like, what's your strong suit? Yeah. Because I want to play on that.
Yeah. And so kind of like got that out of my people too. And so we all like collaborate a lot more. And I think it's funny, like I swear all the girls are like so into the studio, like almost more than me in a way that I like.
That's beautiful.
So it's so cool. Like,
that's really rewarding because you find that like it's beyond you now, which is so hard to delegate work because it's like your baby, it's yours, and then all of a sudden you let it go. Yeah,
it was really scary at first, I think. And then I remember like the first weekend I had other people like opening the studio. I was like, oh my gosh, like sitting by my phone. I was like, what if something goes wrong? What if they don't show up? What if they're late? And like literally never have had an issue this whole time. They're amazing. Everybody kills it all the time.
That's because you know how to hire, which is another incredible skill.
They're good people. Like I think it's been like so fun, and everybody is just like, oh yeah, like literally earlier today, Jasmine, she works the weekends and she's my set designer now, and she like messaged me. She's like, I'm in this Facebook group and everybody's looking for Studio Casually, and I'm just, or she's like, everybody's looking for a studio and I'm just sending Studio She's sending the link. She like sent screenshots, like multiple screenshots of her like sending the link. I was like, you are hilarious. And Brooke is out at the bar being like, hey, Studio Casually.
Well, because people will be like, so where do you work? And like imagine you could say that you work at this studio that you can also, because everyone has something in their life, birthday, you know,
it's so much
parents'
more
birthday,
than
surprise party. There's just so many things.
So beyond like photo studio, I think that's really where I kind of want to like tap into more, and where my focus is. Well, like on the photo like side of things, we're killing it. Like we don't really need to be like promoting that all the time. It's pretty obvious. And like obviously because we're a studio, we get so many photographers who are just already like who are here and naturally just like tag us. It's like such a cool industry, so we don't have to do as much of that. But when it comes to like events and stuff, or really anything else, like you could do a sick ass like date night, you could put a projector on the wall, like watch a movie night, like you could do anything really. There's like so many options. Dating. We're doing speed dating eventually. So
that was going to be my next question. Are there any events coming up that people can come that are listening and like come and be involved in?
We're still figuring out. September is when they start again, and then they're monthly. We call it Strictly Casual. It's like our monthly in-house event.
Love that.
And so we've done yoga before. We did Galentine's was like the highlight of my life.
That was so much fun.
It was really like the highlight of my life. And I also just was like, I drank a good amount of wine too, so I was just like, oh, this is the best day of my life.
Likewise. And then we decorated cakes.
We did decorate cakes. We'll probably do it again. I feel like now we have to no, you keep going. You're good. I feel like now we have to decorate cakes every time. You know, it worked out well. The way I got those cakes though, I found a girl on Facebook Marketplace literally made all those cakes for us. God bless her.
No way.
Yeah. God bless her. So I was like, I just spent all this money on this launch party. Like, and now we're going to have Galentine's. Like, I really was
I thought you were going to be baking the cakes yourself.
Well, that was the next, that was what was going to happen if we didn't figure it out. And so we were trying to figure it out kind of last minute. Also, it was Valentine's. So like,
There you go.
You know,
busy.
it's harder to get it. But yeah, I ended up finding this girl on Facebook. I was just scrolling on Facebook Marketplace anyway, and then I got like someone posting these little mini cakes. I was like, shut the fuck up, and I went and got them from her.
Talk about timing.
I know, she made like 25 or 30 cakes.
It was delicious. They were really
good.
That was when I moved here and I didn't even have my lease yet. I ate that for like 3 meals.
Ugh, they were so good.
Love that thing.
Yeah, no, that one was really fun. We'll do Galentine's here. Galentine's this year will actually go crazy because it's like my Super Bowl at this point.
Yes.
That we're gonna have dance. It's gonna be in this one. We'll have like dancing. We've already talking about it at this point because it really is like the highlight of my year.
I was dancing around. Well, you get a little wine.
I was dancing.
You get a little wine in me. I'm dancing. I don't care if there's music on or not. Yeah. So, yeah.
We'll have like a whole thing. It'll be bigger. Great. Yeah, it'll be really fun.
Okay, and then the speed dating thing. Is this just? It's a little far out.
It is. We've talked about it a lot though, because once we had a night where we all sat down and we're like, okay, what kind of events could we do? Like, what do we want to do?
How do you meet men in San Diego? I mean, I know you're in a relationship, but
no, I don't know. No, literally, my best friend went and just like set her up with my boyfriend's friend today.
It's got to be a friend. Really?
Yeah.
Or where are they going?
Well, we did the pass.
Nice.
Yeah, we did the pass. Actually, it's honestly so fucking crazy. Like,
it's working.
It's a very much will be a meet cute if it works out. I wish the best for her.
Love. And also, I do think friends of friends is the way to go. Like, I deleted the apps. But I will come to Studio casually speed dating.
No, we want to, for sure. It's been on like the top of my list. It's just a very complex event, because realistically, like, we need to filter through people and make sure like there has to be a vetting process and like get enough people that make sense, but we really want to do it. It's like very much personally at the top of my list because I just think it'd be really fun and I'd love to like
Cupid, because like you said, Valentine's Day is your Super Bowl.
Well, Galentine's Day, I don't really give a fuck about Valentine's Day.
Like, fuck these men.
I mean,
we love them, but it's about us today.
Yeah, we're chilling. I'm like, Galentine's is the best one. It's like really so much fun. And last year was
guys
really
don't give a shit about Valentine's Day really either.
Yeah, we just kind of keep it low key. Like, yeah, we don't do anything crazy. But no, I loved your outfit. I thought about your outfit for weeks after, to be honest. I literally was like, oh my gosh, Layne is so fucking cool. I want to be her friend.
It's the best compliment I could ever get based off of an outfit.
Yeah, I literally was like, oh my gosh, that girl's cool.
And then hopefully you met me and you were like, no, she's actually still nice and cool. But like, that I remember putting that together and I was just like, I don't have anywhere to wear this. And then I saw you post the Galentine's Day and Melissa told me about it. I was like, can we please go? Like, my life is shit right now. Like, a lot of stuff went down. And I was like, I'm getting like absurdly dressed up. And it was the best night.
We're all dressed up. Most everybody dressed up a bit too. That was kind of like the goal.
And that's how I also knew I was like, oh, these are my people. Like, going all out for things that you find enjoyment in. And why not?
Yeah. Why? Who cares?
Literally, why? Yeah.
Like, I was like, we got a photo booth set up.
Yeah. Like, you want to go that hard.
One thing about the girlies is we will be taking pictures. So like, why not? Or like, why not?
It's okay.
Okay. But yeah, I think that was my favorite event we've ever done. And we did yoga. We're doing yoga again very soon. I love
in this one.
Yeah, more people. We did yoga. We did a pottery event.
Yes.
I was so pissed I wasn't here for that. She's gonna be teaching here twice a month now.
That's incredible.
Like through her own thing, basically. So we're kind of like housing her as like an extension. She won't bring her wheels. Okay. She's gonna do like hand. Okay. She just did
so I was gonna say that'd be a
sculpting that's like basically sculpting like a human body. Class like into a vase or something. It's so cool. So she's gonna do like bigger classes. She has a studio in Hillcrest, and she was here earlier this morning. We were talking about it, but she has a smaller studio that can only do like 8 people at a time max. So her goal was like, we talked about it and she's like, oh, I just would love to do bigger classes. She did a big class with us, and so she came here and she's like, oh yeah, so she's gonna have like, basically we're gonna be an extension of her space.
That's great.
So I'm working, like, my goal is to work with like, I saw you post
that in your stories. Yeah, you want like reoccurring businesses to kind of like set up shop.
Yeah, because I think like obviously these leases are really scary and they're like it's like a 3-year lease, and it's
you're in it regardless.
And there's a good amount of like creatives too that's like, well, 1, you couldn't sign a long lease, or 2, you couldn't get approved for it or something. Like, that's a whole other side of the coin. Or there's also like, you could have a good customer base, but you don't have a customer base to like, I always use a yoga teacher as an example. Like, you could have 50 students that would like want to practice with you regularly, but like, you don't have enough students to come in like
and have a studio
at least 5 days a week,
yeah,
every week forever, like you don't have that client. That's a shit ton of clientele to
so
have.
That's
so like I could, my goal is to like, okay, we could get a yoga teacher who they do have enough clientele for a bi-weekly class or weekly class even, and they can come like have their space, and we just have it like blocked off for them, so they just pay us like a baby rent to like come here and be here regularly and like operate shop here.
I love that. That's what entrepreneurship's about. It's like having that solution to an issue that just hasn't been tackled yet. And that's so valid, especially with yoga, because like and then
there's so many you have to have so many students to run like a studio all the time,
especially to pay
or people
rent
that are coming like multiple times, versus like you could do an event and you could have your tickets at like $20 or whatever and have 50 people come, 40 people come.
That's great.
Yeah. And you're not locked into that like scary lease.
Yeah, the lease.
Yeah, or like
that's just
you're sitting on a space that that's just my problem.
That's just what you're gonna have to deal with.
That's fine.
I'll take it.
It's okay. Add it to the leases that I have. I guess
think that's a really great solution to that, because San Diego is such a place of like people budding with new ideas and trying to do new things, that I think that is so smart to have. Yeah, like their baby leases.
Yeah, like a baby lease, or even like people who do podcasts who need a place to go. This technically isn't like soundproof, so I don't know if it's like the best, depending on like how people like to podcast. Yeah. You know, some people are very like strict. For me, this is where I would record mine. It's no big deal. No,
I'm thinking I need somewhere other than my kitchen table. So I will probably be hitting you up as soon as I get like a few weeks in and get it rolling again.
Yeah, just there's so many like options like that. So really, like she does pottery. She's a pottery teacher, but really could like suit anybody. Churches on Sunday mornings, like there's literally a church in this building, I think. So there's like a lot of stuff like that where there's a lot of options for people. So we're kind of like leaning into that, which is why I'm like, this is my community center, where it's like very much like other businesses come and like run shop here. We're gonna do like monthly markets here, like a vintage market. We're gonna do like our in-house events, and then this is also just like an event space for other people to like book and use. And I'm working on like having a co-work situation on a regular basis, which is something like I really
like a little pop-up coffee shop. Have you seen that guy on TikTok?
Yeah, in his house.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so we've kind of talked about like how we could do co-working. It's
another little meet
here.
Cute. I think I should you're Cupid at this point.
Yeah, no, literally. That's the goal. I'm just waiting.
Listen, find my husband.
Listen, I've got a whole roadmap for you. You can meet at a Studio Casually event. This is just like Studio Casually X Bumble, okay?
Yeah.
Meet at a Studio Casually event, and then he or she, you know, or they could do a proposal at the studio, like a surprise proposal.
Any of the number of studios that you have
could do like
time.
a cute little date night / proposal when it's time.
A hot take. I want to know what you think. What do you think of public proposals versus private?
Not for me.
No,
it's not for me. That's how I feel about it.
Cut.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, there's just no fucking way.
The public, I just think it's such an intimate moment.
It is really. It's very intimate, and I'm like, listen, I don't even want to have a wedding. What do you mean?
We love pictures of fucking everything, but like I think that one moment.
I wouldn't be opposed to like a hidden photographer or like a prop the phone up situation even.
I like that.
Like, I think that's great, but I'm also like a photographer. So I think I'm like, oh yeah, like it'd be nice to have photos, but I'm like, I don't even want to have weddings. Like I clearly don't give a fuck. Yeah. It's just not for me. I think
maybe my tune will change one day, but like I always
it's an intimate thing. Yeah. Like I think if it was like outside or whatever, I would want it to be like not a busy place.
Yeah.
Like I'm not getting engaged at Disneyland. I'd literally rather like
studio casually myself. Rather get proposed to at studio.
No.
This is solid.
And then you could get married here is what I'm saying though. So you could really have all the milestones and we can be a part of it. Sponsored by Studio Casually.
You're like love casually?
No, literally. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be so cute.
Cupid casually.
But yeah, events are a great way really to like meet people too.
Which is why I started last Sunday.
Yeah.
I meant last Sunday to be because I loved like the SC Network events. I loved going to all these events, but it was all women. Girl centric. And then I was like, oh, let's do a little kickback. Because if it's like music and drinking and hanging, I mean, yeah, we made it vintage. But we were like, guys will come if you have free drinks. And then like, hardly any.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still working on it, but
yeah, that's really, we
like,
also want to make sure that we have men coming too.
What are they doing? What are you all doing?
I don't know. Where are they at?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but our goal is to have a mix of like, we don't want all the events. They have been more like women coming, but definitely don't want them to always be that way.
But that's how you do it. And then you have the guy friends and the boyfriends all like brought in because you have that customer base.
No, it's nice. So a good balance. So we're getting back into events. I'm excited.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I know they're really fun. I just didn't have the time. I was like, your girl's overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So yeah. So now it'll be Brooke will handle more of the events, and I'll just like approve Janai stuff. So we'll all collaborate on events completely, but less just on me.
Well, I love that. Speaking of which, thank you for taking the time to talk about everything with me. Is there any other little like entrepreneurial spirit or advice that you could give someone who's maybe thinking about starting something of their own?
Just do it and stop listening to people that tell you shouldn't, because they're just haters.
Yeah. Just like get your hands dirty, do it.
Yeah. I think like you can't, we overcomplicate and overplan, and like especially when I was opening the first studio too, everybody was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it just doesn't, like, this is kind of crazy. I remember my parents were like, we support whatever you're doing, like we know that you're smart, you're not making dumb decisions, but they're like,
but what are you doing?
You're paying another rent, like, are you gonna be okay? And I was like, I'm fine, we'll be fine. But I think like,
you're like, I'll tell you in a month.
Yeah, like I think you have to stop like trying to perfect and plan for all the things. Just like start doing it. Like if I was trying to perfect and make sure everything was lined up, I wouldn't have started anything that I've done. So yeah, I think it's just like you just really have to like start doing it and start acting like you are doing it too. I think there's so much power in being like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. And I think a lot of I hear so much contradicting advice on that, where people are like, you should keep quiet with your idea until you're doing it. And I'm just like, no, you should just be like, oh yeah, like who says that I'm not a podcaster right now?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Like I could go out and be like, oh yeah, I'm starting a podcast. I'm a podcaster. It's launching in September. Like nobody's in charge. Nobody's the president of podcasts. Like you can do whatever you want.
And this is why I ask, and like I use the verbiage before, it's a self-limiting belief for you to be like, it's so easy to be hard, because we're our toughest critics just like by human nature. And I think it's so easy to like over critique, and then you hinder yourself. You become like in this fight or flight and you just don't do things. But the action's where it's at. So
just have to start. I think that's like the worst thing is like your idea will die in your brain. Like it'll die because you just are like waiting too long, and then someone else will start doing it, because that idea needs to make, I saw this on TikTok, I think, like the idea needs to be out in the world, and like if you don't act on it, someone else is going to get that idea and put it out into the world. So like,
and it kind of goes back to what we were saying, like why work towards someone else's goal when you can be working towards your own, if you have that desire in you. It's not for everybody, but it's one of those where it's like, if you have that, like you said, just try. And there's no shame in failing. There's just no shame in going after it.
It's a different hustle. And I think like the biggest, to me, I'm very much like, just do it. Like, don't be stupid. Like, but also like you can take action to do towards what you want to do without like fucking your whole life up. You know what I mean? Like when I went full-time freelance, I didn't have 0 clients and then be like, I'm quitting my job. Like I had it already lined up. And I think like that's like, just let's make strategic moves here. But like
strategic.
Also like nobody's stopping you from being like, oh, you can't, like you're not a photographer. Like you could not be a photographer today and you could be a photographer tomorrow. Like
I think that is some of the best advice you could possibly give, because it's something that I work on too, because I'm listening to this audiobook. It's something about your future self, and you need to already, like you saying, oh, like I'm not this. It's like you said, what do you mean?
Who said that?
You easily could be that in an hour. You could be that in a day. You could be that in a week. So it's like,
we make up the titles anyway. Like, who cares?
I love this.
Yeah.
This is quickly becoming one of my favorite episodes, just because it's like
fun.
You're so good at it. I can't wait for your podcast.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I can't wait either.
This is this other last little segment that I'm bringing back to all over the place. It's just a little rapid fire.
Yeah.
So you could answer as short or long as you want for anything.
Fun.
Just so they could get a little bit to know you before.
I've been wanting to do something like this forever.
Oh, really?
I'm excited. I always love these segments on podcasts. They're my favorite.
Cool. Well, now I'm going to have to ask you some of the other things to ask because I don't know if I have that many questions.
Okay. That's all right.
Texting or audio message?
Audio message.
What is your favorite day of the week?
Thursday.
I love that.
Oh, Sunday maybe.
Song that you have been playing on repeat lately?
Oh, shit. PIMP.
Yes. What country is on the top of your travel list?
I would love, I would love to go to Greece, I think, which is like so lame. But I just would love to go. Or
don't go to like
Morocco, I'd really also love to go to.
Stunning. But yeah, just don't go to like Mykonos. Pick some other place.
No.
Pasta or pizza?
Oh. I think it depends on where. I'm in a really big like pasta mood lately, so
when
maybe
it's done right.
Maybe pasta, yeah.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
Spring or fall?
Fall.
East Coast or West Coast?
West.
Have you ever been to New York?
No. I know.
Kate.
I know. I feel like I would like it. I think I might be a little overstimulated, but I know that I would like it.
I feel like you actually would thrive there.
Yeah.
You gotta just go visit.
Yeah. I would never live there, but I would love to visit. I would love to visit.
That's a lot. All right. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Music or podcast?
If I'm okay, probably I listen to music more often, but I love podcasts, and so I do a lot of podcasts like if I'm driving or if I'm working, I do podcasts. But if I'm like working out or doing anything else, music.
Road trip or flying?
Flying. I've done some really long road trips that I'm like, I'm tired. And if I'm doing a road trip, I'm probably with my dog. Now I got 2 dogs, like 2 dogs in the car. I already need a bigger car.
I drove cross country 3 times with 2 dogs. So
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. With the one, it's fine. Like I did a big trips with Walt for sure, but like with the new one, I'm just like, oh my gosh, you guys they can't even fit in my car very well.
I know. I low-key wish they were here today.
I need a bigger car.
Bring them in?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this goes next with the cats or dogs?
Dogs. 100%.
I love you.
I'm such a dog girl.
Same.
Yeah.
Sweet or salty?
Salty.
Travel or vacation?
Ooh, that's tough. I think I like a mix. Like I wouldn't want to do only one or the other. I think as I've gotten older, I prefer a vacation. Versus when I was younger, I definitely liked more like travel vibes. I think now I'm like, if I'm going on a trip, I love a good little rest situation.
Like veg out on the beach.
Yeah, because life is really busy for me. So I think I like a little bit more of a vacation vibe. But I like if I'm on vacation, I want to do things that still feel like proper travel. But I'm not going to stay in a hostel anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
I've outgrown that.
I actually don't know if I've ever properly stayed in.
Oh my gosh, they're fun.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Oh my gosh, chocolate. Okay, I have really strong opinions with this because if it's ice cream, vanilla.
This is why I love this. I love this segment because people really they feel some type of way.
If it's ice cream, I'm not a chocolate ice cream girl, and I'm not a really like chocolate girl in general. But if we're like, so probably vanilla. Yeah,
that's my answer too.
I know.
Book or movie?
Movie. Yeah, movie. I don't read fiction.
Comedy or horror?
Comedy. I fucking hate horror. Absolutely not.
You're like rom-com bitch. I'm Cupid.
And I don't even really watch movies. I'm like TV shows only girl.
See, I'm a YouTube girly, so.
I wish. I'm working on it. It's like I actively want to
watch my vlogs. Please go watch my vlogs.
I've watched your vlog.
Yeah.
I actively want to like do more YouTube because I think I really enjoy long form now that like everything's so short form. I've like found another like love for long form content again.
If you need a videographer or editor, you know where I'm at.
Slay. Love that. I do sometimes actually.
Let me know.
I'll let you up.
Apples or oranges?
Apples.
Play sports or watch sports?
Oh my gosh. Both. That's really hard.
That's a tough one.
think realistically, I watch sports more than I play, but I love to play sports. I just don't get the opportunity that often. But like, my man is a sports guy, so.
Leather or lace?
Oh my gosh, probably leather. But I love a good like see-through situation.
Breakfast or dinner? Oh yeah.
If I'm talking clothes.
You're talking clothes.
Yeah. Breakfast or dinner?
Yes.
Dinner.
Ice cream cake or cake?
Ice cream cake. I don't like cake. Except that one at Valentine's was good.
And then underdressed or overdressed?
Overdressed.
Always.
Even though I tend to underdress, I believe in overdressing.
And like find enjoyment in overdressing. Well,
yeah.
Yeah. You made me pull out I pulled out all the little rapid fire.
Oh my gosh. I love that so much. I love a good rapid fire
I forgot about that. So last V didn't get that on our episode. My bad. Sorry, Vero.
It's so fun.
But thank you so much, Kate, for hanging out. This was literally fluid. This was the most like
this
minus
is
me
fun.
having to start the cameras
again. That was fine.
It is what it is. It's all over the place. Is there anything else you would like to leave the listeners with?
Fuck a W2.
Fuck a W2. I love it. Well, you guys can follow Studio Casually, Business Casually, everything on Instagram.
Yeah. See you next week.
Yeah, see you guys next Monday.
I don't know.
I'll have you on whenever you want. We can debrief things.
Don't tell me with a good time.
You are invited back on the podcast anytime you want to practice for your podcast before you launch.
Amazing. Well, I'll have to have you on mine soon.
Please.
Whenever I get it figured out. I have a mic technically now. Yeah. My neighbor gave me one, so.
I started on like a little blue Yeti from Best Buy, and it was great. Those are great.
Yeah. I don't even know what it is. My neighbor was giving it away. It was new in the box. I was like,
I'll take it.
This is obviously... See, things are falling into place. That means I'm supposed to start a podcast.
See, I like this.
Yeah, I was like, I already have the mic.
This is how I need to start living my life. Yeah. Just pay a little more attention to the things that fall into your lap.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love this.
This is so fun.
I'm like gonna go home and edit this right now.
This was I don't want to get off the phone. You hang up first. No, Layne, you hang up first.
Dude, every episode, like, I'll be like, okay, we're done. And I'm like, okay, but so what do you think about this? It's fun.
It is really fun.
And I can tell that like you're natural with it and you're like, you have that inkling to start a podcast. So it definitely comes naturally.
Oh my gosh, it's because I can't shut the fuck up.
Neither can I.
We can't do it.
So we could just stay. I mean, the lighting might have changed on the camera.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
It's a little crazy.
You're like, because
probably.
We've been talking for like an hour and a half. It's the best thing ever.
Oh, time flies.
Doesn't it though?
Yeah.
Podcasting really like